Football is one of the most lucrative sports, with weekly salaries of hundreds of thousands of dollars for the players. The extent to which these players will go to acquire a certain item depends on how much they adore it. Look at some of the players who made obscenely pricey purchases. 6. Cristiano Ronaldo. In addition to pushing the physical and technological boundaries of his body, Ronaldo is regarded as one of the finest footballers to ever play the game. Curiosity drove Ronaldo to invest in a performance-enhancing mouthguard, which had never been worn by any other athlete. Ronaldo has been seen wearing a mouthguard lately that actually helps him balance better and has more muscle power. It seems to disperse all of his energy throughout his entire body, and it properly lines up his jaw with his head and chest. With that $130,000 piece, Ronaldo started rocking the game in 2010, and ever since, it's been at a whole other level. Simply by looking at this, it is impossible to dispute the possibility that it is providing him with. 5. David Beckham. When a firm wanted to advertise their hair cream as a product for slick, sporty, and intelligent characters, they thought Beckham was the ideal candidate. However, there was one requirement. He had to acquire a very specific haircut that would cost him $6,000 to get. And, to be really honest, it doesn't seem like something his barber couldn't do for $30. In the end, Beckham signed a 4-year, $6 million contract with the business, so it actually paid off. Consequently, the first $6,000 expenditure was worthwhile. 4. Jerome Boateng. In 2019, Jerome Boateng made the decision to spend his money in another method to gain attention because he felt his Bentleys and Mercedes weren't attracting the right amount of attention. He was familiar with the ideal candidate for the position. When he reached for his phone to call Gabriel the jeweler, he received the following response. Jerome went shopping and purchased some of the iciest, driest jewelry I've ever seen. A customized $100,000 Audemars Piguet with 30-carat stones and a diamond bezel. Each of the 3 Cuban link chains is covered in VVS diamonds. 3. Neymar Jr. Neymar, who was a little child, grew raised in appalling circumstances. Due to their extreme poverty, his family was forced to live in a home without electricity or food. As if it weren't difficult enough, Neymar was tormented by neighborhood kids while playing football in the streets every day. They would make fun of Neymar's second-hand clothing and teeth, which his family could not afford to have whiter, but Neymar didn't let it get to him. He was even more motivated to find a way out for his family and himself as a result. He made unimaginable sacrifices and devoted his entire life to becoming one of the finest football players his nation has ever produced. Neymar began earning multi-million-dollar contracts in 2009 and transitioned from the Sao Paulo ghetto to mansions in Rio. 2019 saw Neymar shell out $14 million for this. 10 people can fit in this Mercedes-Benz helicopter, but would it really be Neymar's without his insignia on the tail? He also had the interior completely altered to look like his favorite character, Batman. 2. Mario Balotelli. For a player as wild as Mario, a $31 million contract with Man City was simply too much money in his bank account. As a result, he had to cash out, and Mario used the money to buy a $250,000 Bentley Continental GT and a $180,000 Maserati. The ridiculously expensive issue wasn't the cars per such, but rather what he did with them. Mario was a law-abiding man before becoming a monster thanks to his millions of riches. Instead of showing respect when he arrived at restaurants in his Bentley or Maserati, Balotelli would simply drive up and park anywhere. Mario is continually accused of failing to learn from the fact that his fines totaled $500,000 this week. 1. Antoine Griezmann. You can't forget about Antoine Griezmann while discussing millions of dollars worth of absurd purchases. This guy genuinely received a $145 million contract in 2019, so he couldn't be your typical football player in a Ferrari, could he? Nah, this dude needed to be exclusive, so he spent $500,000 on this. The Rolex Rainbow Daytona, one of the iciest and rarest watches in the world, was acquired by Anton. This masterpiece had a 36 baguette-cut rainbow sapphire bezel and 56 brilliant-cut diamonds, but for $400K for a watch, Antoine could at least brag about it. If you enjoyed the video, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.